Hi, I'm Rebecca Reinking and I have the best app ever. It is here, it is free if you have an Apple iPad or an Apple iPhone. Unfortunately, I haven't found a comparison for like an Android device, but this app here, it is called TxTools and it's by PediaStaff. And I love it for data collection. I use it with all of my kids, and I know some SLPs can groan or get a bit annoyed with data because it can seem very overwhelming, but this really simple app makes it so easy. So if you look here and you look at the board, I'll kind of hold it up a bit closer, you can see that we have right and wrong. So if I'm just going to start tapping here, if I'm working on a speech sound or minimal pairs or the complexity approach, anything to do with speech sound disorders, if it's the production that I was expecting, let's say the child said a clear S sound, I would press that green button and you can see that it counts how many that were clear, and then you can see that the overall percentage score starts to change. Now, if there was a production that was not clear and it was, still not clear, I would tap that. So you can see how the percentage score up here adjusts. Now, apart from just the percentage score, being really helpful, because you could say, in an activity, you could take data in one activity and say that the child achieved 60% accuracy. The thing that I really love for SLPs is this bit here. So when you look at this, and knowing that in a lot of speech sound disorders, we aim for high practice trial sessions. Sometimes we just go on an average and say, like, let's aim for 100 correct or 100 clear practice trials. By having this number here, you can see how many you have already achieved within your one activity or within your session if you want to have this open for the entire session. And that helps to keep an SLP accountable for trying to get those high practices in. Now, I just mentioned you might want to do this for one activity or you might want to do it for your whole entire session. I do both. It just depends on my client in front of me. It depends on what I want to achieve in that session. I usually have it on my phone because my phone is small and it's easy for me just to have it on my table and to tap left and right. And like I said, it helps to keep me accountable. But if I've got a very interactive session and we're moving around, or I just don't have the capacity to take data for a whole session because I'm teaching, I might just pick one activity and I'm just taking data on that one activity to then put into my session notes and to track our progress. The other way I love to use this app is for a conversational speech sample. Now, often at the start of my therapy session, I like to know if the child is generalizing their speech sounds. And so when they come in and I'm talking to them, I'll have my phone on the table and the child doesn't really see it and they might not know what I'm doing. And I will be listening to their speech sounds and I will be taking a conversational sample. I usually like to aim for about 50 attempts of the sound just to get a decent enough sample. So that's where these numbers here help. So right now, 36 plus 18, yep, definitely. I'm getting close, or I'm getting near that amount of opportunities to practice that sound or that pattern. So this is a great thing to do to help you as an SLP keep track of conversational speech. For young children, they love pushing the buttons. So I'll usually put it on my iPad app, and it is just a motivating task or activity for the child where I don't necessarily need other toys or games. I'll say to them, let's see how many green sounds we can get. And we talk about green being the sound that we are aiming for, that clear sound. So if it was a sound like shh, if I see round lips, I might say to the child, great round lips, press that green button, and then they press it. And then if I say, oh, I don't know if that was your best shh sound, I'm going to push the red one. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's see if we can get more here. And it's very motivating in itself, just for the younger child to be able to push the buttons. And it also helps bring that self-awareness and helps them be a bit more accountable. Now for older children, I use this as well as another motivational tool, but usually for school age children, we are looking at this score here, this overall score, and often we're tracking it or we're setting a goal for that session. So it might be, let's see if we can get 70% today, or let's see if we can get 85%, and I'll let the older child again be in control of this. And often they get so motivated by trying to get that high score that it can really increase their accuracy in session because they've got a goal, they've got something that they're working towards. So again, I find that this tool and this free app is not just good for data collection, but it's great for motivation, it's great for self-awareness, and it's really helpful to let kids know that we are listening to their sounds and that we are, you know, trying to help them get this green button and stay clear and aim for this higher percentage for them. So I hope you like this free app. If anyone has found an Android comparison, I would love if you can put it in the comments because I get asked all the time and I just don't have an Android device to be able to investigate that. Make sure you subscribe so that you can keep getting little updates on all our favorite things for treating speech sound disorders.